Hey, Frank, how are you?
Good, Mike. How you doing?
Doing well, Coach. Hey, Frank, LeBron and AD are 1 and 2 in the playoffs and finishing at the rim. Obviously, that's something that defenses try to take away. What about their playing next to each other helps enable their ability to still get there? And how has that played out in the postseason so far?
Well, yeah, obviously both of them draw enormous attention from the defense, draw double teams, draw help when they're attacking the basket, and that often frees up the other guys. But we have a lot of weapons, um, again on the perimeter or at the rim with our vertical spacing that allows them the proper space to finish at the rim.
Hey Frank, I was wondering what to you is there a hallmark of an Eric Spoelstra coach team, and what separates that from others?
Play hard, play together. They always play that way. They have great toughness, high care factor on the defensive end, and they always trust the pass. And it's just a physical, tough-minded brand of basketball with their culture with Coach Spo's teams.
All right, you guys can go ahead there.
All right, we'll start with Kyle Goon. Guys, before you ask a question, please wait for the mic. Thank you.
Kyle Goon, Orange County Register. Frank, everyone has had to adjust to this environment, but the importance of LeBron's leadership in that aspect, what's the biggest adjustment you've seen him make to being inside the bubble for so long, and how has that had a trickle-down effect on the rest of your players?
Well, it's important to get out of your room, right, in this environment, the bubble, and obviously when your captains, LeBron and Anthony, are going to be at every sort of team event that we have, a pool party or a barbecue or anything like that, or eating in the team meal room with his teammates. I think that is infectious to the group in terms of guys just wanting to be together and leaning on each other in this unique situation where we're away from our families and away from the real world, really. So I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Dave McMenamin.
Frank, when you see the news out of Tennessee today that the Titans had to shut things down because of COVID-19, does it remind you of the situation you guys are in down here and just the remarkable nature of the operations we put together to keep everybody healthy so far?
We feel very fortunate, and seeing that news, it definitely does make me appreciate what has been created here by Adam Silver and the NBA. Because obviously all of our efforts could be grinded to a halt if we were outside of a bubble in a less safe environment. So credit to the NBA for putting this thing together. It's really remarkable how it's come together, and hopefully we're able to finish.
Dan.
Frank, you guys have been tested so many ways this year. You've had a front row seat to see kind of LeBron's leadership and how it's operated. What have been your impressions on the way he's kind of helped steer you guys through all sorts of different things?
He's the best leader I've ever been around. Simplest way to put it, in terms of players. And we've obviously, like you said, we've dealt with a lot of heavy emotional types of adversity that we've gone through. And, he sets a great tone with his example. But is also a great leader from a communicative standpoint, talking to guys, talking to the group, about the right mindset to have through certain situations. Being the leading voice, when things occur where we're all not really sure how to deal with it or what to say. He's been a leading voice in those situations, and just an integral part of our success this year.
Chris Haynes.
Coach, I got two questions for you real quick. The first one, you mentioned a barbecue earlier. You guys have a barbecue. Where can I find that food at?
That's a great question. That's a Rob Pelinka question. He's the one that sets those up. And it ended up not even being a barbecue because it rained every time we tried to have the barbecue.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we had to have it inside.
Just curious. So the second one is, being there's not any home court advantage here. I was curious if you looked up the numbers on some of your guys and, with the fake crowd noise, have you seen a difference in how guys play when it was a so-called home game versus a so-called away game? Have you seen a difference there?
I have not, and I haven't studied home and away numbers, for obvious reasons, because it is really the same environment for every game. So I haven't noticed a big difference. You sit on the other side of the floor, your the colors are different on the screens that are flashing. Your intros are there, but beyond that, once the game starts, there's very little difference between home and away.
Malika?
Frank, we just heard Jimmy come up and say that he doesn't like to be thought of as the underdogs, but statistically speaking, they very much are. You were also in that situation with the Blazers. Do you see a difference, even though it's the championships and you both made it here, in playing against a team that kind of has nothing to lose because they weren't supposed to be here?
I don't know. I really don't view them that way. To be honest, they're 12-3 in these playoffs, just like us, and they've beaten 3 teams. Milwaukee on pace for a 60-win season, and Boston and Indiana plus 50-win season. So they've beaten 3 great teams in these playoffs. So I really don't view them that way. I think they're a great basketball team that we're going to have to play great to beat.
All right, we'll send it back to you, Will.
All right, yeah, Frank, I will take 2 more. Melissa Rowland.
Hey, Frank, obviously there's, normally a much bigger wall up between players and coaches. I'm curious if being in this environment, you've gotten to know the players in a much different way than you typically normally would have.
Of course, we've spent a lot of time together, far more, dinners and, just being around each other, seeing each other around the campus than we would normally be in if we were at home. When practice is over, everybody goes home to their families, to their own lives. We've all been still together. So it's been a sort of a hidden benefit, a silver lining to my relationship with our group and our group's relationship with each other. And hopefully it bodes well for us in these finals.
All right, yeah, last one for me. Jose, please.
Yeah, Coach. Thank you. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Rondo and the matchups that he's going to be facing against Miami. Maybe Goran Dragic, very experienced player. Maybe Duncan Robinson at times, and Tyler Hero, of course. What do you expect from Rondo in the series? Thanks.
He's going to be Rondo. He really impacts the game on both sides of the ball, both with his ability to orchestrate the offense, put guys in positions to score and then deliver the ball. But also he just makes winning plays. Defensively, he's got great lateral speed and athleticism defensively. Obviously, he's been an all-defensive player throughout his career, and we'll do whatever's necessary to get the job done on that end of the floor as well.